Dune Awakening throws a ton of unlocks at you early on, but they're not all created equal. These items will completely change how you fight, farm and survive on Arrakis. If you unlock anything, make sure it's one of these. One of the earliest and easiest unlocks to get your hands on is the Literjon. In the very early game, you'll always have your eyes open for flower fields so you can stay hydrated, but with the Literjon full of water, your horizons will be much broader, now able to travel longer and further without having to visit the local florist and slurp on the petals. This is a simple unlock, you'll get access to it quite early, it's easy to get the resources needed to make it, and it doesn't weigh much so you can carry it around with you and take a sip of water whenever needed. It is honestly just that simple. The Literjon is a nearly essential tool that you cannot miss out on. You can unlock the basic Literjon in the research menu under Water Discipline, or get unique schematics from certain early game dungeons. Arguably the most important early game unlock to get your hands on is the Stillsuit. A unique and iconic garment in the Dune universe, this suit offers very little in the way of armour, but protects you from the heat and, most importantly, recycles water, allowing you to build up essentially a second Literjon worth of water over time that you can sip from whenever is needed. The Stillsuit is the perfect outfit for non-combat scenarios, allowing you to be out in the world for longer, reduce water usage, and insulate you from the dangers of the environment. Whilst it's not a great choice for combat, we can remedy that with something else we'll talk about momentarily in this video. Fortunately, it is incredibly easy to get your hands on a Stillsuit. Follow the main quest journey and complete the first trial of Arrakis to get the recipe for both the copper and iron Stillsuits. Both of these suits are cheap and easy to make, and are more than worth the effort you'll put in to get your hands on it. It really goes without saying that vehicles are perhaps Dune's most important unlock out of them all. Currently, vehicles take three general forms: the Sandbike, the buggy, and the ornithopter. You'll be able to craft a Sandbike quite early on, within your first few hours, and it's undoubtedly one of the most critical things you can create. Whilst this initially just seems like a way to get from Haga Basin south to the Vermilius Gap, the Sandbike is a vital tool for exploration and farming, allowing you to easily cross worm territory and gather hard to access resources like flower sand. More on that shortly. If you craft an inventory module to go with your bike, you'll be able to use the extra space to make your farming trips far more efficient. Attach a boost module instead, and you'll be able to quickly cross even large expanses of open sand. You can unlock the Sandbike through the research menu in the vehicles section, and the main quest journey will guide you through the steps in the first few hours. The buggy and ornithopter are later into the game and are a bit outside the scope of this particular video, but both will be extremely important. Having a vehicle in Dune is mandatory to escape the starter area, but it's not just a method of travel, it's a hugely important tool. Unlock it, craft it, but also keep it maintained and upgrade it as soon as possible to make your entire life on Arrakis much easier. The Suspensor belt is quite literally a lifesaver. It's easy to overlook these, or at least it was for me. I kinda just forgot to craft one for quite a while during the weekend beta a while ago, but I cannot understate just how useful Suspensor belts are. Suspensors counteract gravity and can be activated manually or automatically depending on which one you have, which can easily save you from a guaranteed death fall so long as you have charge in your power pack. You can also use it to cross small gaps easily, extend horizontal movement when combined with Bindu sprints, and much more. Whether you just need an extra bit of mobility, or you need something that can save your life when falling from a mountain, the Suspensor belts are exactly the thing you need. Suspensor belts are a great feature that will save your bacon and just make you far more nimble and agile. I would definitely recommend crafting a manual one over an automatic activation model, but unlocking and creating any Suspensor belt will give you a huge safety net. You'll be able to unlock the first Suspensor belt in the research menu under Exploration in the copper tier, but different belts do have different effects and behaviours, so read the item descriptions carefully. Generally speaking, the higher tier the better they are, and you can also loot them from enemies in the Vermilius Gap too. The Holtzman Shield is an integral part of life on Arrakis, offering a reliable insurance method in combat that will keep you alive so long as it has enough power. The shield protects you from most projectiles and blades, though can be penetrated by slow strikes and can also be overwhelmed by fast-firing weapons like the SMG. When the shield is activated, it acts as, well, a shield, against most damage sources and draws power from your power pack, the same item used to power tools and the like. The Holtzman Shield is really the great equaliser of combat in Dune. It allows you to be more aggressive and take risks without instantly getting punished, and gives you a huge amount of security, especially in scenarios where you didn't expect to get into combat. I've done quite a lot of combat in the Stillsuit where I should have just been decimated realistically, but the shield kept me safe. This is a great unlock, though of course do not activate it in worm territory, it will summon the worm very quickly. You can unlock the Holtzman Shield in the research menu under Combat, with the first shield in Iron Products. You can also loot it from enemies in the Vermilius Gap, and likely beyond in varying qualities. The Dew Reaper is an insanely useful tool in the early to mid game, especially for solo players. This item allows you to harvest the dew from many flower fields around the map at a specific time of day, and put that dew into a Literjon as fresh, drinkable water. You can only do this efficiently during a short window at dawn, denoted by the mist around the flowers and the small blue bar on the in-game clock, but this window is large enough to potentially give you litres of water in only a few minutes, which you can then use for crafting or just keep for drinking. If you are struggling with water, I would recommend checking out my water video. It's linked in the card in the top right. The Dew Reaper is an incredible tool for getting over what I call the iron hurdle, that section of the early to mid game when you suddenly need lots of water to upgrade everything to iron. The Reaper is easy to make and has a huge impact on your water supply, giving you a massive edge in the water harvesting department. You can unlock the Dew Reaper in the research menu under Water Discipline, with the first one being found in Iron Products, though you can also loot it from enemies in the Vermilius Gap. I honestly can't recommend it enough, and if you want more tips, guides and more for both Dune Awakening and Conan Exiles, check out my Patreon where you can support the channel directly and see content much earlier than it releases on YouTube, or just join as a free member to get previews of what's to come, alongside exclusive looks at the production of Settlers Season 4. Shameless self-plug over, back to the unlocks. The final and arguably most important unlock is the Static Compactor. This device is a long pole-like tool used to clump together flower sand or spice, making it easier to farm these resources en masse. Not only is this recommended, it's almost essential to progress, as silicone blocks crafted from flower sand start to become a requirement during the end of the iron tier. If you want to get spice, same again, you'll need a static compactor to get it in any great quantity. Yes, you can gather both the aforementioned resources by hand, but that experience is slow and, frankly, a waste of your time. You're just going to need the static compactor. However, do be careful using it. It draws from your power pack, so you have to be mindful of your tool charge, but using it in worm territory also generates a rather significant amount of worm threat, so don't stand around compacting all that sand for too long. Fortunately, the static compactor recipe is easy to get. Simply travel to the Eastern Vermilius Gap and complete the second trial of Arkle, and you'll unlock the recipe. It's cheap to craft, costing iron and Fremen Cave resources, yet is one of Dune Awakening's most important tools for progression. It also makes a very satisfying sound, which is always nice. And there we have it, some of the most important unlocks you should get your hands on in Dune Awakening. The Literjon, Stillsuit, a vehicle, a Suspensor belt, a Holtzman Shield, a Dew Reaper and a static compactor. Obviously some things are essential like a knife, a power pack, a gun, a blood extractor, but this list targets things that can get a little lost in the initial information overload. If you're going to beeline for any of the tech in the game, these unlocks are a great choice that will set you up nicely for the mid and late game process, so you're not caught unaware when the need for these items shows up. Anyway, that will wrap us up for today. I'll be covering Dune Awakening right here on this channel alongside Conan Exiles, so make sure you subscribe to get the best of both Arrakis and Hyboria. Thanks for watching, and a massive thanks to our wonderful esteemed coffee cultists for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon. If you want to support the channel here on YouTube and get some exclusive perks, take a look at the new channel memberships available by clicking join just below this video. Take care, and I'll see you soon.